How do you mount 3 arrows on a bow? I wonder how Bahubali did it. I think 3 arrows are a bit too much, both for myself as well as this bow I've made for my archery kit. In this video, I'll show you how I made this takedown bow, and not the arrows, for I bought this from Decathlon. I will leave the links in the description below if you're interested. By the way, I'm Josh and you're watching my DIY channel, Video Epo. Let's get started. A quick disclaimer before we start, guys. In this video, you will not find any professional tips or tricks on how to make a bow, for I'm not a professional or a proficient bow builder. There are dedicated channels for this purpose, and I'm sure you can watch them and benefit from those. But since you're here, please do extend your courtesy by watching this video completely and sharing your opinion. While I might not be able to give you professional tips or tricks, you will definitely see how a first-timer stumbles upon certain mistakes and how he tries to rectify them. I hope that persuades you to watch this video completely. Let me start by explaining a few things that will make communication easier as we move along. Bow and arrow or archery has been in existence for a very long time, ever since man started hunting. There are different countries, cultures and kingdoms that have developed unique methods of archery. They've developed unique bows. This bow here has got the arrow rest on the opposite side of the draw hand. In this case, the draw hand is the right. The draw hand is the hand that pulls the string. So this is going to be the right hand, and therefore the arrow rest is on the left hand side. But why so? When the arrow is placed on the same side as the draw hand, when we pull the arrow, it tends to shift the angle of release, and one might need to use fingers to give it a direction or even support the arrow. It could be hard on your skin. But when we place the arrow on the opposite side, the body of the bow supports the arrow, and hence this design. There could be other reasons, but this is what I've learned. The center part of the bow is the riser. This is a takedown bow, which means we can take apart the limbs. The limbs are these parts here, and in this case attached to the riser with some bolts. Then we have the strings, which completes the bow. The first thing needed for this takedown bow is the riser, for which we need a template, and plenty of them are available on the net. The template I chose came out in 2 A4 sheets, and I pasted them as one. I took the liberty of modifying the template and design a little bit. Using a precision knife, I started cutting the template. I can't say how much this precision knife is better compared to normal box cutters. This is a cheaper version of the X-Acto knife, but worth the bucks. The purchase links will be found in the description below. The template has 2 sides, the face and the profile, which are quite obvious. Next comes the lumber, and I salvaged one. This one is 2 inch by 4 inch and quite apt for the riser template I downloaded. Since this is an old piece of wood, I need to look for buried nails which could blunt and ruin the chisels later. Neodymium magnets are powerful enough to detect any nails buried in the lumber. There was one, but I discarded that part and I used the other half. The templates were pasted on the wood, and I had to double check on the side on which these have to be pasted. Pasting it on the wrong side will result in the arrow rest on the undesired side. Therefore, this step is very crucial. But actually, I don't see a point of pasting the profile template now, as it would be cut out anyways. I checked it again by holding the wood. The slack is cut here, and if I hold the bow on the left, the arrow rest is on the left as well. Therefore, we are on the right track. Since this is a 2 inch lumber, I could run the jigsaw to clear much of the wood. Once the shape was roughly cut, it was time to do the hard labor. The shape of the riser is quite organic, with a lot of curves and bends. This had to be done manually. I used chisels, rasp, sandpaper and even a box cutter to achieve my goal. You can see me in a lot of different clothing here, cause I did this on different days whenever I had time. After 4 to 5 hours of work, the riser was completed. Nothing fancy here. I just used vegetable oil and wiped out the wood, and the colors of the wood darkened up a bit. The next step is the part where I make the limbs. This bamboo is not very ideal, but this is the only one I got. It has been an entire year on the outdoor in the hot summer sun and in the monsoon. I'm not even sure if this is the right material to work with, but trying out is an option that I don't want to rule out. Roughly about 2.5 feet of bamboo is cut, and the next challenge would be to split it apart. This bamboo is quite thick. I don't have an axe, so I thought of a simple fix. I scored a straight line along the length of the bamboo and then I made holes at the various places along the length of the bamboo. Then I used a series of chisels in tandem to split it out. This plan seems to work. Although chisels are not ideal for this job, but these chisels are really old and blunt ones and therefore there is nothing much to worry or to lose. Once the bamboo was split, I used a knife to thin it out and to make it into a flattened piece. I tried every possible method that could make this work and get the job done. After a lot of bamboo shavings and 8 hours of strenuous work, I managed to change the shape of or carve the shape of a bamboo from like this to somewhat like this, like a flat piece of wood. Now if you see closely that it is not perfect, I mean the sides are not even and the thickness is also not even. I'm still working on this. In most of the cases in the material that the limbs is made of is a composite material, and sometimes some of the bows have got a sinew as a backing layer. I'm relying completely on the tensile strength of the bamboo itself, and I think maybe I shouldn't have carved it this way. Maybe I should have carved it, I should have checked before doing all of these. But let's see how this works, and if it has not got enough strength, maybe I can add another layer of PVC. And since this is a takedown bow, I can do it later because these limbs are going to be attached to the riser using two bolts on the upper and the bottom side. So if I don't find that it's got enough strength or something, I can take this off and add the PVC backing later. I wanted to bend the bamboo using heat treatment, so I got myself a stainless steel kitchen vessel and clamped it on the table. Then I pulled out my butane torch. I put on my welding gloves and then heated the bamboo. Then using the kitchen vessel as a support, I started bending the bamboo. It is quite frustrating when you have your 8 or 10 hours of work getting wasted, because while I was giving the heat treatment and trying to bend this limb, one of the limbs broke. You can still salvage a portion of this one and make smaller bows. I have to simply thin it out, but I don't think this is ideal for the one that I'm building right now. So I have no choice but to go back to chisel another piece of bamboo. I got back to cutting, splitting, chiseling and planing again. For those who are seeing this for the first time, this is called as a thread insert, and this thread inserts have a thread in the interior and have teeth on the exterior, and the way it is used is we make a pilot hole or a hole on the piece of a wood and then we simply thread this inside that hole. What happens is that the teeth on the outside is going to grip the wood and it is not going to slip it away, and the way it is done is you have an Allen key and you can simply thread it inside like that and then use a regular bolt to fit anything there. So it kind of adds more strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make holes on the riser and insert the thread inserts in there. I want the holes to be perpendicular to the surface here, so I line it up with the surface of the drill press vise, and then I made 2 holes on each end of the riser. The thread insert has to be perpendicular and not be inserted any other ways. The process is almost similar to like tapping a thread. I move clockwise and then anti-clockwise for the teeth of the thread insert to bite into the wood and not split it apart. For the final part, I added some wood glue and then tightened it firmly. It's also important to remove the excess glue and make sure it does not get into the hole. Then I marked the limbs for the holes and then drilled them as well. 2 holes on each limb. Using a bolt and a washer, the limbs can now be attached to the riser. I did this for both the limbs. The next step is to get the strings prepared. By checking the number of strands required to make the string, I braided them to make a string thick enough for the arrow nock to rest. Grooves had to be made on the edges for the strings to be seated on the ends without slipping. Once this was accomplished, and after a few test shots, I figured out that the bamboo does need a PVC backing. The PVC pipe needs to be flattened first, so I cut a piece to length. Using aluminum foil as a backing spreads the heat from the heat gun properly and speeds up the process. Once hot enough, it could be easily cut by a pair of scissors. A large, heavy iron piece was laid on top to flatten it. The pressure was not sufficient and C-clamps came in for the rescue. And to be double sure, I added some more weights. The length of the bamboo limbs were shortened a bit and the flattened PVC pipe was cut to shape. Then I scratched and scored lines on it using a wire brush and a hacksaw. This process would make the joint stronger after they glue up. By using synthetic rubber-based adhesive, the two pieces were pasted together. The rubber-based adhesives hold on to each other, hence it is important to rate the time it takes to dry and work based on that. Once glued together, they were clamped till they dried. Using a bench grinder, I grinded away the extras and trimmed the PVC flush with the bamboo. While I was happy with the texture of the bamboo, I did not like the color of the PVC, so I decided to paint both the sides with matte black spray paint. Once I painted, I chose to reinforce the limbs by wrapping it with some nylon threads. The reason for doing this is the glue cannot hold the tension when the string is drawn at the fullest. The white thread adds nice contrast, making the bow look like a snake when wrapped at equal intervals. Finally, the limbs were bolted and the drawstring was added. The bow is ready for action.
One of the arrows is seen to come out on both the sides.
Guys, this is my homemade bow and I really like it, the way it's turned out and the way it performs. But there are a few things that I have not shown in the video, like how I braided this string. Neither it is braided properly nor it is tied properly. I'll have to learn that, and this is how it is. Alright guys, what do you think about this video? I hope you liked it, and if you really did, please do share it with your friends. And my channel is an upcoming channel and I'm really struggling hard, and I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and share this with your friends. Thanks a lot.